Hello, everyone. It is really an honor and a privilege for me to be here today with Dr. Jacob John Akpan, who is also my dad. So I'm not just saying that because he's my dad, but really a wonderful man, very intelligent, very generous, and I'm glad he's here to really share with us today about his professional background, about his educational background, and talk about his research in finance. So hopefully this really it's an inspiration to me, and I hope it can be an inspiration to you as well. And I hope you can share it with someone, and I hope it really helps. It really helps. So Dad, please tell us a little bit about yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, my fun son. It was a great pleasure for you to approach me to come and discuss to the public about my own dissertation and research in finance. I understand you are teaching this course now in the university. I'm very glad for the opportunity and introduction. I'm also very pleased to let you guys know that I'm very pleased about all my children. There are 4 of them, and 2 of them are boys and 2 are girls, and all of them like schooling like I did, and that's what I'm very pleased with God for giving me them. I started off my education here in Chicago. I got my first degree in industrial engineering technology at the age of 22. That shows to you how I love to go to school, you know. And after getting my degree in industrial engineering, which was very popular at the time, I got a job working at Humphrey Leather Goods. My work there was taking time studies. It was very popular, this thing at the time, because at that time, people, they were looking for efficiency in the industry, in productivity. Whereas now, there is the opposite now, because people are overproducing. At that time, there was so much redundancy, inefficiency in productivity. Yeah, you want to study, when you study business administration, you find that this has been a revolution in the business world, you know, Maslow's theory and so forth, and, you know, the mechanical revolution, you know, whereby we're working machines and tools and so forth. So at that time, they were looking for those type of people, and they earn a lot more money, you know, at that time than electronics, you know, because I wanted to go and do electronics engineering, so I was torn between the two. But the people in electronics engineering, they were not making so much money, and what could you do when you were an electronics engineer at the time, other than being a TV technician or work with the telephone companies, you know? So that's why I chose this thing. Industrial engineering, and after working for 2 years or more, and then I went further to study civil engineering, and then a master's in business administration. After that, I was lecturing. I lectured for 2 or 3 years. Then I moved to New York, where I worked for many consulting companies before. Then I worked for New York State Transit Authority, you know. They call it Tribal Bridge and Tunnel Authority. From there, then I decided, I said, I want to go get more education. And then I started my PhD program in finance. The reason I chose finance was because I intend to do established business. You know, I love the business administration, even though I don't have extensive work in finance. My extensive work is in engineering. But even then, in this engineering that I'm doing, most of them were cost engineering and management. So it's still about business. In fact, I was a cost engineer at Tribal Bridge and Tunnel Authority, and project manager at New York City School Construction Authority, which involved estimating cost, you know, estimating, which is in cost accounting, and so, and then engineering and management, so forth. Then I went to the school I went to do my PhD was in Nova, Southeastern University. And it was part-time, and I spent for 7 years. 4 years was in coursework, and then the 3 years was in writing dissertation, and I specialize in finance, and finance is you comprise of retail and commercial banking, and then the wealth management and asset management, and then investment banking. That's investment banking was really my real field. You see, when you go and start let me let you know this. When you want to go and start in a PhD program, when you're starting a PhD program, it's like starting from getting your bachelor's, because the coursework you're going to start off with studying the coursework is going to be like the undergraduate coursework, but in advanced stage. So I spent 4 years. That wasn't difficult, but what I do advise people is when you're doing your coursework, you should try to get higher degrees, big grades, good grades, because when you get about 3 C's or D's and so forth, they'll kick you out of the program. And also there is a duration, a limit cap, and how long you can be in the program. You shouldn't, some said 7 years, 10 years or so, because in this world, something keep on changing. Keep on changing, culture keep on changing. So, so you try to study as much as possible to get good grades, especially when you are starting, so that you do, because you don't know as you advance, the course will be harder, and also you could meet a bad professor who will give you a bad mark, bad grade. So, and the topic I chose was in market price reaction on the announcement of international joint venture between developed country and less developed country. Let me try to explain that. That means that when you do, when there is a partner, when you want to do international joint venture between a partner from a developed country and a less developed country, that to me, that's what I assume, that it is well creating, that is profitable to get into that type of a company or joint venture. Well, when I investigated, this was not the case, because I got my data from University of Chicago here, about 112. So it was a real intensive and elaborate research, and this covered a period of about 10 years. So the sample size was really large. In fact, you find my dissertation in many schools, because of it really was proof. It was, the probability was really good, of this thing. So the result, the outcome showed that if you do joint venture, if you got partners from a developed country doing joint venture with partner from a less developed country, that the result is not going to be profitable. It's not going to be probably in telecommunications, mostly telecommunication or this high equipment goods, and so forth, So so I collected the data from here, and then I did the research, and then the research, the result was surprised me, and so that's what you're going to have, because there are popular beliefs in many instances, many popular beliefs. You could say, okay, for example, you could say, okay, people who go to church are very good people, But when you reduce these into variables, quantitative variables, you find that it might not be true. People who go to church are not good people. So that's the same thing in research. And research is, first of all, you have to have the topic. When you have the topic, you usually have a director of a dissertation in any school that you go to. And then you go and make sure that the director is going to make sure that the topic you choose have dependent and independent variable. That is, so that you can quantify these variables and reduce it to statistics. So that's the first distinction. Then you write the literature review. Literature review is not difficult. That's not the part of dissertation that is difficult, because it's like you are writing tense paper, you know, in the on your master's level, you know, you could do that, but you make it larger. Of course, in any course that you're going to take in MBA, they want you to write a tense paper, you know. So it's like a tense paper, but many you collect there, this thing. And then after that, then you're going to have a chairman. You're going to get a chairman of create a chairman of the committee, dissertation committee, which will comprise of the chairman and 2 other professors. You know, in my school, you have to go and pick these people that come to you. Some other schools they give you this chairman and you know, and members of the committee members, you know, or that committee chairs. So I was lucky. I got this man, and he was very good lieutenant colonel in the army, and he had a PhD also, and so forth. So every time you write this paper, you write your tense paper, you send to all the members, and then they send to the chairman, you know, and then you come back, you do the correction and do back and forward, and then when you come to the real real analysis, which you're going to use statistics. That's the most difficult part of the dissertation. Usually, you will hear many people who say that they tried and then you know, they attempted, you know, they leave the place. Mine took me 7 years. Sometimes you get discouraged because sometimes it appears as though when they look at your papers, it appears as though you want to abandon it. You're not going to go back again, you know. So that's this thing. And I wasn't alone. Even my the chairman used to say that he himself, he wanted to abandon the whole thing. After all, you know, if you don't have passion, you have to have a passion for whatever you want to do, you know, in the PhD. Otherwise, because it's very time consuming. And I remember all those times. Remember, I spent 7 years, and these 7 years were no pleasure, you know. Every time I had to spend my time in the library. This is no joke. And also, my advice is before you embark on this, writing your literature review, and also you must attend one of the conferences of that particular field that you're going to do. The annual conference. They usually have this annual conference in management, international management, you know, cost accounting or whatever these things in your own field. Then when you go there, all these people all over the world are coming to submit papers. You're going to submit papers on the different type subtitles. So it's your place to go there and then collect as many papers as you can. That's where you will get the topic. That's where you will know how these things are written, you know. I do not believe I'm going to look at other people's dissertation to see how they read and so forth. No, that is not a wise scope. You're not going to get the best thing is go to this, even if twice or twice before you do this, you know, you collect, it could be 20 different tense papers. Then you're going to see the logic, how this thing. Usually these people are professors, these people are students, and you know, advanced students, and they've been there. And they're coming to present papers, you know. So you get those papers and attend to different as possible. So that helped me. Plus reading on your own, that really helped me. So, and then the statistics was a difficult one. Even though you had the statistics on the advanced level and for this thing there, I had to abandon that. Go back to my elementary statistics. From that alone, I think that is what wasted more time, because I finished this thing in 4 years, the coursework in 4 years. So I was thinking that the dissertation probably would take me about 2 years or a year, you know. But I tell you, it wasn't so. Then another hurdle would be this thing. You take comprehensive exam before they allow you to do this writing, and that's usually not difficult if you know what your coursework, what you were doing. You know, usually it's written course and things like that. You know, so that in my school we had to take comprehensive exam twice. You know, others now they've reduced it to once because it was too much. And then another thing, we have to publish this thing in a paper. And this road of the PhD is no joke, because you have to publish a book in a paper that is read, circulates. The very school that I was going to, they refused to accept my paper, my publication. So I had to look for a school that look for paper, and so wrote to many places. And then I went for interview, and then I went for a seminar. But then after that seminar, they liked the publication that I submitted to them, and so it was published. So I sent them to the school and so forth. And then it was then after 7 years, then when all these things, my publication and the dissertation got through, your chairman, the same people whom you started with, the committee people, all of them have to sign up with. So my chairman signed up with, was so pleased, and in fact, and then all the committee members. After my dissertation, many people, were writing me, how did I do it, and so forth. That's that gives me pleasure, And even they publish it in many libraries, including one from Hong Kong University and so forth. I'm so pleased, I'm so pleased for that. And I hope this short interview and narrative about my dissertation will help you in your own coursework. I thank you once again, and thanks, Frank.
Okay, thanks, Dan. I got one more thing I hope you share with everyone. You mentioned that you were teaching, you were lecturing. Let everyone know where you were teaching.
Okay, well, yeah, I was teaching at Alabama A&M University. I taught in Alabama A&M. In fact, I was teaching in civil engineering. We started the program in civil engineering technology and civil engineering. That's really program. That's where I taught, and I taught about 3 years. So then before I moved to New York.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much. And I really, I really hope this helped. I mean, but that he's an inspiration to all of us, and I hope he can be an inspiration to you. And I hope you can share this with someone. I hope it helps inspire you. Again, you can always Google my dad's name, Dr. Jacob Akpan. You can look up if you want to take a look at his research, or to contact him. So again, I want to thank everyone for watching, and just keep reaching up.